What if I told you there's a simple 4-minute protocol that can get you results so profound they almost seem impossible? We're going to dive into a technique that's not based on wishful thinking, but on some really solid, cutting-edge neuroscience. Let's get right into it. So check this out. It all kicks off with a confidential study from Johns Hopkins back in 2021. Researchers gathered 11 guys who'd had a string of business failures, and they taught them this one specific protocol. And the results? They were just staggering. Within 90 days, 9 of them, were reporting what they called impossible synchronicities. We're talking chance meetings, deals falling out of the sky, you name it. But here's the kicker. The researchers weren't studying the law of attraction. No, they were studying a very specific biological mechanism.
So what on earth was this biological secret? What was behind these incredible results? Well, it all boils down to one secret: incredibly powerful nerve that's running through your entire body right now.
Let's meet the star of our show, the vagus nerve. As you can see, this thing is a superhighway. It's the longest nerve in your body, acting like this primary cable that connects your brain to all your vital organs: your heart, your lungs, your gut. It's basically the master controller of your rest and digest system. And you know what's wild? Ancient Vedic texts actually called it Sushumna, the divine channel. Turns out, they were really onto something. Okay, this is where it gets really fascinating. Thanks to Dr. Stephen Porges and his polyvagal theory, we know the vagus nerve has these two main pathways. On one side, you've got the dorsal pathway. That's our ancient primitive freeze response, that feeling of being stuck or numb or shut down. But then there's the ventral pathway. This is the evolved state, the one we're aiming for. It's a state of safety, of connection, openness, and alertness. This, right here, is what we're calling the magnetic state.
So how do we know how well this system is working? Well, we can actually measure it using something called vagal tone. Think of it like a score for your vagus nerve's performance. As you can see, low tone means you're pretty much stuck in stress mode. High tone? That means you're cool as a cucumber under pressure. And high vagal tone boosts something called heart rate variability, or HRV. Now don't confuse this with your heart rate. HRV is the healthy, natural variation in time between your heartbeats. The higher and more variable it is, the more resilient and adaptable your nervous system is. It's a key biological marker.
And if you want to see this in action, just look at Navy SEALs. This quote says it all. Researchers discovered that the operators who made it through the absolute torture of Hell Week, they all had the highest vagal tone. Their bodies had literally learned to interpret extreme pressure not as a threat, but just as information to be processed. And that is the exact biological state you need to be in to attract opportunity instead of pushing it away.
Okay, so this brings us to a really big question. Why do so many self-help techniques, so many manifestation efforts just fail? Well, the answer isn't that you're doing it wrong or not trying hard enough. The truth is, you might be fighting a battle against your own biology.
Here's the core of the problem. You can sit there and visualize success all day long, but if your vagus nerve has low tone, if it's essentially offline, your body's default program is just to scan for threats. So when that big opportunity you've been waiting for finally shows up, your nervous system misreads it as danger. You physically, biologically contract, you pull back, and you end up repelling the very thing you were trying so hard to attract. But what if you could just reach in and upgrade your nervous system's response? What if you could flip that switch yourself? Well, that's precisely what this 4-minute protocol is designed to do. It's a step-by-step guide to directly activating your vagus nerve and changing your default setting. And let's be clear, this isn't just taking a few deep breaths. The specific body positions and sounds in this protocol have been shown in studies to be up to 300% more effective at stimulating the vagus nerve. So let's break down exactly how you do it. Okay, first up, the position. You're going to sit on the very edge of a chair, get your feet nice and wide, and then just lean forward, dropping your head below your heart. This simple posture actually does two things at once. The pressure from your abdomen mechanically stimulates the vagus nerve, and it also kicks in something called the mammalian dive reflex, which automatically starts to slow down your heart rate. All right, here we go with the first cycle, the reset. You're going to inhale through your nose for a count of 4, hold it for 7, and then exhale for 8. But here are the magic ingredients. While you're holding that breath, you swallow, just once. That simple action is a direct signal to your vagus nerve. Then, on the exhale, you create this low, vibrating hum sound. It's like a tuning fork for your entire nervous system. Cycle 2 is what we call pressure calibration. This time, as you inhale, press your tongue to the roof of your mouth. While you hold for that 7-second count, you keep the tongue pressed and gently contract your pelvic floor.
The muscles you've used to stop peeing. Then, as you hum on the exhale, you just let it all go completely. You are actively teaching your nervous system the difference between tension and total relaxation.
Now this is where it gets really powerful. For cycle 3, as you inhale, I want you to vividly imagine your desire as if it's already your reality. It's done. As you hold your breath, really feel the physical sensation of that reality in your body. And then you swallow once. You're literally anchoring that emotion directly into your nervous system.
And the final cycle is the integration lock. For this one, you can drop the visualization and just focus on the physical cues. On the 7-second hold, you're going to do it all at once. Press the tongue, contract the pelvic floor, and swallow. You're locking in all those changes. And as you exhale with that hum, you're solidifying a new, higher baseline for your vagal tone.
Now, when you're all done, make sure you sit up slowly. You'll probably notice something, maybe a warmth spreading in your chest or a tingling in your hands. And this is so important. That's not a placebo effect. It's not in your head. It's the physical proof of increased vagal blood flow. It's your parasympathetic nervous system taking charge. It is pure biology at work.
So you've done the protocol. You've felt the shift. What happens next? Well, this is all about reprogramming your body's frequency and then watching the tangible results show up in your life.
Here's the game plan, and it's super simple. You're going to do this protocol once a day for 21 days straight. The best time to do it is in the morning, before your stress hormones like cortisol really get a chance to peak. You can also use it tactically, right before any high-stakes moment, a big negotiation, a job interview, a tough conversation, anytime you need your body to be your ally, not your enemy. And the results? They are real. Just take a look at these examples. We've got a financial advisor whose closing rate jumped from 42% to 71% in just 1 month. Now, he didn't change his sales pitch. He changed his biological state. And his clients could feel that relaxed confidence. Or think about the software engineer who went from having crippling anxiety before pitching to literally having investors start calling him. He shifted from a place of needing something to being the one in demand. And that really gets to the heart of it. This is a fundamental shift. You're moving out of a reactive mode where you're always putting out fires and feeling stressed and into a magnetic one. You actually stop chasing opportunities because your biological signal, your entire frequency, begins to attract them to you.
So, I'm just going to leave you with this final thought to chew on. What if the whole secret isn't about working harder or chasing opportunities down? What if it's actually about retuning your own nervous system so that you can finally become biologically capable of receiving what's already out there trying to find you?